So I binged all of Shameless in 1 month. This is one of those long-running TV shows that I've been willing to watch for literally years, and a good friend of mine was a big fan of it, was always pushing me to watch it and watch it. And I finally gave in. I finally gave in because the final season was coming. I was like, you know what? This is the time to actually sit down and watch it. And I didn't expect to actually finish it. No one that I know expected that I would do it, especially not in a month. But after watching the first couple of seasons, I just couldn't stop. I ended up watching every season in like 2-3 days average, with a couple breaks here and there. But I managed to catch up with the final episode just in time to watch it pretty much when it came out. And yeah, this was a ride. This is an unscripted, I hope not too long video, just giving my opinions on this show, a basic review of it all, but wow, just straight off the bat, I think this is a great show. Definitely flawed in some areas, especially the longer it went on, as it often happens with long-running shows, but the first seasons of this are just fantastic. I'm a sucker for dark comedies, for shows that have very despicable people as their protagonists. And this one delivers on that front. The Gallagher family, that's just a series of different stereotypes that get subverted with each season. These 6 children, one drunken father, all trying to live together and cope with the poverty that they're living in southern Chicago, as well as following their friends. Kevin and Veronica were living next door. And the first season was rough, just like most first seasons are, in the sense that they have to set up the characters, they have to set up everything. You have Steve, played with Justin Chatwin, who's just one of those actors I never really liked. And this kind of the avatar for the audience, you know, it works well enough. It works well enough in the first season to introduce you properly to the crazy lives of this family. But that's, for instance, that's one character that just did not like the further he went on. They had way too many different storylines to him. He has a different name actually, and then he's working for the cartel, and there's all this bullshit surrounding him. I'm glad that they got rid of him, and we got a final proper send-off between him and Fiona. And man, Fiona, like Emmy Rossum, I knew her already from The Phantom of the Opera and a couple other movies, but she was fantastic. She is the glue of the Gallagher family. She is the one that's keeping everything afloat, that's keeping the house tidied up a little bit, that's trying to get the food for everyone. She's the provider, the caretaker. I think you have Frank, wonderful Frank, William H. Macy. He is the old Chicago. He is a drunken bastard that cannot get on with the times. And things are changing. That's one of the key themes of the whole show, but we'll talk about it later. But yeah, everyone in the family. You have Lip, who's becoming slowly more like his father, but also manages to have a wonderful arc of growth and redemption throughout the show. You have Debbie, who is very cute and charming in the first seasons, and then becomes increasingly annoying. You have Ian Gallagher, and his whole storylines with Mickey Milkovich was just wonderful. Even there were some parts like the gay Jesus subplot that I could have done without. It was cute at first and fun, but the longer it went on, they just dragged that shit out. For most of the show, actually, I would say everything. The first seasons, what works with them is that they balanced the humor and drama in an excellent way. Also thanks to the whole storyline with the Jackson family, with Sheila Jackson and Karen Jackson. I really enjoyed that. I thought it added quite a lot to the Gallagher family, to the various characters, Lip and Frank, but there comes a time where after season 4, which is, in my opinion, the best one of them all, it's incredibly serious, it's emotionally affecting. You see Fiona reach an all-time low as a character. You see all of the various members of the family just going through absolutely rough time, and it's cathartic. I mean, you see Frank basically being given a second chance to live life, to enjoy, to live to the fullest. And they deliver on it in the first like 2 or 3 seasons afterwards. You see him changing, you see him improving as a human being. But a friend of mine said it really well, that that season was so serious, was so emotional. It really, like, there's some wonderful moments, emotional moments in the whole show here and there. But that season worked so well that it kind of ruined everything afterwards for him, so that he couldn't really enjoy it because they were going back to the more shameless, funny, quirky moments of sex and mischief and mayhem. I can see that. I can totally see that. But for me, just honestly, I really dug everything that came after that. The main problem is that many of the storylines become a bit repetitive. Fiona, especially, she starts becoming more independent. She starts getting herself detached from the family. There's this whole, like, after she's been arrested, she starts having a relationship with her boss in the cafe, played by Dermot Mulroney, which was a wonderful romance. I really like it. And then they kind of throw all of that away. And so I think her storyline especially was very frustrating because it's constantly giving her hope and then treating her like absolute garbage, which is horrible, but also empowering in the sense that she keeps like rising back up of all the tragedy that she's going through. But then again, the final few seasons when she's like a landlord and all of that, I just couldn't care. I just did not care at all about all of that storyline because it's repetitive. We've already seen her reach rock bottom in season 4. We don't need to watch something like that once again, where she's losing everything and everything's going bad and oh my god, she might go to jail, only to then have a Deus Ex Machina. There are so many freaking Deus Ex Machinas in every single storyline in this show. But it may sound like I'm very negative right now. Actually, again, I enjoyed the last few seasons of the show. Even though they get rid of Fiona, even though it becomes just becomes a bit much, you know? Like, there's been so many changes with all the characters, a few of them have left the show permanently. And you're just looking forward to it to actually end, to reach a finish line. But thankfully it does. Thankfully it does. I do think the final season, without going into spoilers, I do think it's very fitting. It's a very good ending, not only for the Gallagher family, but for all the various themes that the show has tackled. The south side of Chicago is changing. You have gentrification, and it's time for the Gallaghers to adapt. And they were already bringing change through, for instance, Ian being gay, through Lip going to college. All of those different elements were already foreshadowing the final season. The final season where Frank is just, once again, just like season 4, hit rock bottom. Filming it during the pandemic must have been exhausting. I do really appreciate they actually implemented it. Though not in a super safe way. I think it works because the people of the South Side probably wouldn't take it that seriously. There are so many excellent themes in this whole show. Of course, the theme of family is at the center of it all. And it's just so believable. I mean, the opening of the show is just a static shot of the bathroom and the different characters doing various activities in there. That's a very familiar setting. Almost every episode opens up with breakfast, everyone around the table enjoying food, getting ready to go to work, to go to school, to move out, whatever, discussing the events of the day, what's going to happen, what happened the day before. And that's what happens in most families. That's what happens in my family and in other families. The importance that's given to just leaving the home is something that made the relationship of the Gallaghers that much more tangible and believable to me. Add to that also very serious themes like alcoholism and substance abuse, how those can run into the family, how those can absolutely kill you mentally, psychologically, in your family, repeating the mistakes of the parents, of everything, of trying to avoid being like them, but also inevitably becoming like them. And in the last seasons, they also started talking more about racism and the power of the police force, which are very relevant themes to our modern society. I was not expecting to connect with this show on such a deep level. And it's not only because it's funny, it's not only because people like Carl and Liam and all the others, or the other Gallagher members, they're just really enjoyable. Sheila Jackson in the first few seasons, like John Cusack, absolutely steals every scene she's in. Shame she never comes back, but also, bless her, she made some season special. But it's It's all about the empathy for me. That's what I took from the show. You're seeing a family of poor people who are already underrepresented in popular media, and you're seeing them enjoy life, you're seeing them have fun, you're seeing them struggle, you're seeing them fuck up royally, and you also see them get back up again. You see them forgiving each other for the mistakes they've made. You see them living life just how they want to live it. I think that's beautiful. I think that's wonderful. And I think that's the key to Shameless. Yes, it's shameless because these characters are just shameless in the crimes that they commit, in the constant backstabbing and betrayals and having sex with other people that they're doing. But it's also shameless in the sense that they don't care. They're doing what they're doing and they're absolutely happy and perfectly fine with it. And that's the biggest takeaway that I got from this show, that I got from seeing Frank Gallagher drink his liver and drink his life away, that I saw from Fiona managing to become a businesswoman, Lip becoming a father who cares about his children, Debbie becoming, I don't know what she becomes, just a mess of a character, Ian managing to get married and start his own family in a way and be happy and truly be himself, accepted for his mental illness. Carl actually finding his way and becoming part of the police force. And poor little Liam. Probably he's going to go have a wonderful future because he was always a clever lad. But yeah, I really loved Shameless. Binging it in 1 month made that entire time feel both quicker and longer than I was ever expecting. It felt like I've lived like 5 different lives in the span of 30 days. But it was absolutely worth it. And honestly, I would do it all over again if I could, just to experience this show fresh for the first time. I'm incredibly happy I finally watched it. I'm happy I could talk about it in a very free-flowing way. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the show. How did you come to know it? When did you start watching it? My good friend started watching it when she was in high school, she told me, so she definitely grew with it, and I can see the final season being incredibly emotional, especially on that level. But yeah, let me know everything you want about the show. If I forgot specific characters you want me to talk about, for instance, I didn't talk that much about Kevin and Veronica, but I really enjoyed them, even though they became cartoon characters in the final few seasons. But yeah, tell me everything in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more scripted, proper video essays in the future. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you can support us on Patreon. And I will see you in the next video.